Hello, this is Debra Cohen. The podcast is a story and a song. I share my spiritual journey as an indie artist, a cantorial soloist, and an author. I'm working on my fifth book, which will be about the health benefits of Tai Chi, specifically for a singer like me that has to keep fit in order to sing well as a senior citizen. Oy vavoy. And one of the first things in learning about Tai Chi, I'm sharing my journey with you, but one of the first things that intrigues me about Tai Chi is the emphasis on kindness. Who would have thought that a physical activity combined with meditation would find its purpose in kindness? This is a club I want to join. So my book will be called Tai Chi Kindness Club. If you never learned kindness, which is a hallmark of love, you cannot express love effectively or completely if you don't engage in kindness. It's something that is acquired. We're not born with kindness. We learn it. And unfortunately, in my experiences of living for 7 decades now, I've not encountered many people who are consistently kind. There are those that are kind when they want something, but if you cross them, out comes the dragon. But there are some people that pretend to be nice, but behind your back, they stab you. So there are people that are kind 24/7. And those are the people that I am looking for to build a tribe, to sing with the kind people, to be with the kind people, and to be a kind person. If this is something that interests you, I hope it does, then stick around for the next 30-ish minutes as we dive into how Tai Chi portrays kindness. I'll be right back after this message. A Story and a Song podcast by Debra Cohen. Interfaith music. Every Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Books, music, singing for life. How songs elevate in praise. Deeper mysteries of the soul. For all creation. It's the golden age of praise. Singing from your heart and your soul. Music, stories, and merch, of course, on Amazon. A story and a song about life. And again, this is Debra Cohen, and I'm glad you're with me. I hope that the internet is working well today because it seems to be slow as molasses in my monitor. But let's get going here and talk about Tai Chi, a recent discovery on my part as I become an aging baby boomer. And as a fitness instructor, I am an ACE certified yoga instructor, but after being afflicted with COVID and hospitalized, I have limitations and have struggled to make a comeback. I'm finding that becoming certified in Tai Chi allows me to continue working out, per se, while pursuing whole body health, holistic body, mind, and soul, or some people say spirit. As we become older, we don't become wiser unless we practice kindness. Tai Chi simultaneously is a practice that enhances a healthy mind and body, and also teaches the body mechanics suitable for martial arts and for success in other sports and activities such as dance and music performance. So again, as a singer, this is beneficial to me. In the practice of classical Tai Chi, what is most often sought after is the combination of martial art and physical benefits with development of mental well-being and vitality. These two aspects go hand in hand and are not really separate considerations. My opening remarks that I just shared with you are from a website, internaltaichiny.com, NY like New York. So thank you, Internal Tai Chi NY, for those remarks. I will continue to dive into how kindness is portrayed in Tai Chi after this message. Hey, this is Debra Cohen. Thank you for listening to my music. I write secular and liturgical music in 4 languages, primarily English, Hebrew, a little Egyptian, and un peu en français. If none of these languages are yours, then sing a nigun with me, a wordless melody. Ay, ay, yadadayo. And again, this is Debra Cohen. Okay, I love to sing. That's my thing. If anybody really knows me, they know I'd rather sing than have a conversation because, honestly, in my experience, the only time there's no bickering, backstabbing, gossip is when people are singing together. That's why I like it, because it becomes a safe place for me and for those in the room. All right, let's talk about Tai Chi. As a singer, this intrigues me. As a fitness instructor, I hope to be able to teach it in 2026. So if you're listening and you live in the Pinellas County area of Florida, find me. I have a website on, well, actually, you can just go to my website, debracohenmusic.com, and contact me there for information on the classes. So in this article by insightenergy.com, it compares Zen to Tai Chi. I'm not promoting Zen, but the comparisons are interesting and worth considering. Zen, a form of Buddhism, consists not only of mindfulness, but has guidelines on ethics and behavior. The word ethics relates to honesty and reliability in relationships as shown in words and actions, and a livelihood that helps others or at least does not do harm. The word behavior relates to offering kindness, compassion, and patience to self and others. And I think this is so important, especially in Judaism, where we've just gone through Yom Kippur, and hopefully we've made amends with everybody that we have offended or have offended us, possible. Now, if you're having a hard time speaking kind words, listen on, people. Or if you'd like to be kinder, listen on. Tai Chi practice, there are few teachers who will directly bring up those matters of ethics and behavior. Instead, there is much focus on mindfulness and movement in Tai Chi. So mindfulness is central to Tai Chi practice, just as it is in Zen practice. But what about the part missing in Tai Chi study and practice, that is, explicit considerations of ethics and behavior? After many decades practicing Tai Chi, this author can observe this observation. Tai Chi practice leads to a greater sensitivity of the whole person. That sensitivity is a sensitivity towards others and towards oneself. Now, just to be clear, this is not the sensitivity that leads to a person feeling insulted or threatened due to negative actions of other people. It is the sensitivity that allows us to perceive directly the inherent importance of self and others. My own practice has required overcoming significant obstacles in my own mind. Gradually, with practice and attentiveness, and with wonderful teachers as well as the truths of the universe as a teacher, I learned the great lessons and continue to learn. And so do I, to practice chesed. In Hebrew, the word is kindness. We can only be fully helpful to others to the same extent that our awareness is clear and sensitive, moment by moment. Buddha said in an overview of what Zen Buddhism is devoted to, quote, "Do as much good as possible, avoid doing harm, and purify your mind." So think about that. Excuse me. The first two phrases are what we would expect from a religion or spiritual teaching. But the third phrase, referring to purifying the mind, is crucial as well. As the mind becomes more pure, sensitivity increases. This is not moralistic purity, but purity that expands perceptiveness and empathy by removing barriers to clear functioning of the mind. Are you or I able to look at a person that is different than you and think only pure thoughts? Christians are told, think only on those things that are lovely, pure, noble, and good report. Okay, so Jews are told to practice chesed, loving kindness, that it's impossible to know the love of God if you don't practice kindness. So the question is, do you automatically just become kind? The answer is no. We have to practice it. And the reason why Tai Chi is attractive to me is because you can practice kindness while you're practicing Tai Chi. Let's find out more. In Tai Chi, practice increases sensitivity toward oneself. And by being sensitive to oneself, there is a natural connection to sensitivity toward others. Because we are all connected, we cannot treat ourselves differently from others in an absolute sense. And this kind of jumps out at me. I've been told that I'm rather hard on myself, which understanding in this context would mean that I am a little bit hard on others. Okay, let's consider these things. Think about it. Sensitivity to others means we feel connection with others, which relates to empathy, kindness, compassion, and patience. On the other hand, if we, with the best intention, focus only on doing good actions without purifying the mind and developing sensitivity, we will miss many important opportunities to do good, and we may unintentionally do harm. Both Zen Buddhism and Tai Chi involves turning the light of awareness inwards. Turning inwards. When we turn the light of awareness inward, we purify the mind. And as a result, our good intentions and our words and actions work together to positive effect. In Tai Chi, the introspective practice following a fixed external framework, meaning the various Tai Chi forms, as well as various two-person practices, meaning the number two, increase sensitivity to self and others. When we have sensitivity, we have empathy, we have kindness, we have compassion, and we have patience. With that in mind, we will naturally follow the ethics and attitude that is spelled out more explicitly in Zen Buddhism. When we open our doors of perception to the profound and beautiful nature of each human being, Tai Chi and Zen take on their fullest, most important value: friendliness, helpfulness, patience, and other virtues of human nature arise from the purified mind, guided by our efforts. And I thank Energy Insight, or it's called actually insightsandenergy.com, for this wonderful article. It was hard for me to find anything that taught to this degree relating kindness to Tai Chi. And I know that's a lot to take in. I encourage you to replay this. It is archived on my YouTube channel. The handle is @JewishRockMusic. So let me just share some closing thoughts. And if you have thoughts about what you just heard, you can put them in the chat. I am looking right now at my YouTube channel. Again, the handle is @JewishRockMusic. Or you can find it archived under the Live tab. So what we've learned here in reading this article, hopefully, is that kindness is to be practiced. And even in Judaism and Christianity, where they tell us to be kind, it's not enough to say, okay, let's be kind. Or maybe you do one thing if you're a Jew because it's a mitzvah. I feel better now because I've done a mitzvah. I was nice to them. I gave this homeless person $5. There I am. I'm kind now. No. No. How do you know when you are a whole, kind person? Well, the answer is when you don't think negatively of anybody. You can have constructive criticism and think, I wonder why she doesn't wash her hair. That's, and I've actually thought that about somebody in our congregation. Like, what's wrong with that person? Are they having trouble? That you can have a PhD and not know that cleanliness is next to godliness? Okay? But another way you can tell if people have mastered kindness is by looking at their face. If you look at somebody and they look at you like they just sucked on a lemon, then they're either in pain or they don't know kindness completely and they need to work on it. Actually, we all need to work on it. Life can get you down. I mean, there's so much in 2025 happening. If you watch the news, then all of a sudden you become nervous and or sarcastic, but those aren't kindness. Kindness, you need to carve out time in your life and mine to practice kindness. So one way that you can do that is by doing kind things for yourself, affirming yourself as a worthy human being. If you were told, like I was by my parents, that I'll never amount to nothing, and whatever negative words came, those things play in your head as an adult, whether you recognize it or are aware of it, and you become what the words that you take in. And in Christianity, in order to erase those thoughts, first you have to be aware. If you get that thought in your mind, I can't do that. Well, it starts this comparison behavior, especially with women. Oh, look at her. You in an exercise class, you either say, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that in a nice way, or you say, who does she think she is? the queen bee. Well, they even have queen bee t-shirts, believe it or not, which can be nice or not. But anyway, in Christianity, they tell you to meditate on scripture to erase that negative thought. So if you have thoughts about yourself as being worthless, then you would look in the Bible for things that say that you are worthy and speak them out loud, because your body hears everything you say. It's not good enough to read it. You have to rehearse it aloud 21 days in a row. It takes that long to erase the negative thoughts in your mind. That in itself can take a long time if you've been brought up in an abusive home where your head is full of negativity. You've got to get rid of those things in order to be kind to someone else. Another person that I met in this congregation, the first time I met this woman, I admired her because she was so proficient in reading the Torah. So during Oneg, which is the food part after the service, I wanted to meet her. And she was very flip. And I was surprised because, somebody that can read the Torah, there's got to be an element of compassion in there somewhere, of divinity. But she said something about me being an idiot. This is the first time I met her. And I had the courage to say, well, that's not very, I just met this woman. That's not very nice to say. And so she turned around and said, okay, you're my favorite idiot, and walked away. I'm like, OMG, she doesn't even know me. Why is she saying these things? Well, this person obviously has been told these things as a child and has owned it and now spews it out to other people. Oh my God, that's so wrong. It's negative energy. It's not good for anybody. So first, you have to be aware that you're doing something wrong. And you have to want to be a better person, a kinder person. So how do you get rid of those things that you say off the cuff? You have to, even the book of Yehoshua, it says you got to meditate on the Torah day and night until you erase all of those negative thoughts, which start with yourself, or you think you're so much better than other people. You're full of pride. And, after a while, people that have pride, they don't realize that they become hardened of heart. And they start thinking that they find flaw with everybody else except themselves. And when they have become really flawed, they become deceived, and they don't recognize that they have this behavior and start saying things about people that aren't true, even though they think it's true. They don't realize that they are deceived because they've been doing this prideful thing for so long. So there's many reasons why people are not kind, but that doesn't give you the excuse as an adult to continue that way. If you have found this video, then by divine inspiration, I say, let's embrace kindness and learn to be kind to one another. My book, Tai Chi Kindness Club, I'm just now on the second chapter of writing, so it'll be a while, but in the meantime, you can check out my other books, DebraCohenBooks.org, and check out my music, DebraCohenMusic.com. Let us declare in this new year, whether you're Jewish or not, 2026 is right around the corner. I almost said corner, like, because I'm from Boston. I've had to learn how to speak business English because a lot of people down here in the South don't understand people from Massachusetts. Okay, all right. Enough said. Thank you for listening. I hope you will share this with somebody that maybe needs a little hint. You don't know how to tell that person, you're not very kind. Instead, you can say, or you can, I don't like avoiding people that have negative energy, but if they don't stop spewing negative words, I don't want to be in their force field. It's hard to say, hey, could you try being nice? Give them this video instead, and maybe they'll click. Okay, so thank you very much. And I hope to see you next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time right here on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook profile as Debra, Debra, Cohen, Cohen, music. Shalom to your home.